something else that people have asked me to ask you is how come you sort of left so abruptly? It was we talking like early mid 1986, leaving the WWF.
Uh, oh, well, we've been working, and I mean, we were doing great. Uh, we've been asking George Scott for a day off because we need to go home. We just need to go home and take care of some business. And like 3, 4, 5 TVs in a row, he said, next week, ask me. Well, after we worked 90 days straight on the road, it was 96, I think. And we were in Baltimore, Maryland, and it just blew up. Mike went home, and then I followed him home, and he came back, and I stayed home.
So it was actually Mike who went home first then?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So was it just... I mean, 96 days on the road is impossible to deal with for almost anyone, I'm sure.
Well, the way we traveled, too, from coast to coast each day, it would be Seattle at night, and then Miami the next day. They weren't clumping them. They were all zigzag, so it was really tough travel.
Yeah. Do you... I'm sure you may have heard this before, but like, do certain people get like institutionalized to like the road life and then just can't cope at home? I know Ric Flair's an obvious example, but I mean, what sort of percentage of wrestlers couldn't cope when they eventually got off the road and went back home?
He just, it wasn't hard for me to transition because I like being home, but, some guys, like Flair, he craves the attention of the fans, and I guess he just can't stand being alone either. So, it's just a lot of people are that way. There's a lot of the guys are that way too.
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing is, after you and Mike leave, Mike turns back up, US Express continues with Danny Spivey. Did you realise that he was going to be your replacement before he debuted, or was this a big surprise to you?
No, and I wasn't paying attention either. I had taken my phone out of the wall at home, and I took about 3 weeks off, and then I just started back wrestling there in Florida for Championship Wrestling in Florida.
Did you ever wrestle Danny as like, the US Express explodes kind of like mega match?
I don't. Seems like I worked with Spivey sometime in a tag match. Maybe him and Mark Callis against me and somebody, and but I don't really recall working with Spivey that clearly.
And as I keep saying, we're skipping ahead a bit. We're missing the AWA. I would have loved to know why you weren't in the rap video for the Wrestle Rock Rumble. Do you remember that at least?
Well, the AWA, I never really worked for them. I just worked one show at the Minneapolis Dome that they had, and Rotundo and I worked there. We worked with I think Steve Kern and Stan Lane. But yeah, I don't. We weren't part of the videos for that.